Hi everyone, today I'm going to share with you what is left of my Louis Vuitton collection. I'm now down to 13 items, 2 of which I'm saving for my kids, so I'll share with you what those are as well, and I'm going to go in chronological order. I haven't done an LV collection video in quite a while, and one of you recently asked me how my mini pochette is holding up. It's right over there, so I'm going to show wear and tear, and I'll give you close-ups of every single item, so in chronological order from the oldest purchase to the most recent purchase, and then in the end I will share with you how I'm feeling about LV these days. So the very first item that I purchased from LV, you might know the story if you've been watching my channel for a while now, is inside this dust bag here, and it was this LV Pochette Métis in the monogram. Yeah, until I saw this bag all over social media at the time, I really wasn't into LV, but it was this bag that caught my attention, and for the first time I walked into one of their boutiques and I tried this on. I fell head over heels over it and I purchased it right on the spot. So on that day I bought this monogram Pochette Métis as well as these sunglasses. So 2 of these were picked up on the same day, and these are the Charlotte sunglasses. I still wear them to this day. This is called the Charlotte sunglasses, as I said, and it has the monogram canvas wrapped all around the legs here, and then it's got the gold hardware. What's really cool about this, I've shown many times in older videos, is that it folds flat. So that was the cool thing that kind of sold me when I saw it at the store. And then you can also just do the regular fold like so if you wanted it to be the more traditional fold. I love the mirrored lenses. This also came in black at the time, but I really like the softness of the tortoise shell. And yeah, so I've had these since 2019. In terms of wear, I don't see any scratches on the lenses or on the monogram wrapping or hardware really. This has been holding up really well. So if you were contemplating trying sunglasses from LV, I would say that from my experience, they are very good quality. And then the Pochette Métis, again from 2019, so it is now about 6 years, a little over 6 years old. And I will say that the S-lock here, which I really appreciate because it's very secure, this started scratching from the moment I peeled off the stickers. So the very first day that I started using it, it just started getting scratched up. So you can see all the scratches along here, which doesn't bother me. Once you close it, you don't really see it. But I know sometimes people keep the stickers on to prevent scratches from happening, especially if you think you might resell the bag down the road. But I peeled it off right away because the stickers will make it look very dull and matte, and I love the shiny look of this gold hardware. So yeah, that's what I wanted to show you. So it is definitely going to get scratched up if you take the sticker off, something to be mindful of, even though there is this little plastic ball here that I think is meant to prevent scratches, but it really doesn't prevent. I just realized something. Oh my gosh, I didn't realize there was a sticker on here. Ah, the inside. So I'm going to peel that off, especially if a sticker is starting to peel off on its own. You don't want the metal to oxidize, so it's better to just peel it off completely. Here's the strap, and the compartments kind of like an accordion style, 1, 2, 3. And by the way, if you get a new Pochette Métis, you probably see that the canvas on the inner flap goes further down, because ever since LV had a recall for quality issues on the glazing here, and then when they brought them back out, they had the canvas go further down, about an inch or so down, so that there's less pressure on the corners here. But as you can see, the glazing on mine seems to be holding up fine. There was some melting glazing that was happening, I think in the years like 2017, 2018-ish. So I remember at the time I was waiting for the recall to be finished and for the new batch to come out, and that's when I purchased it. By the way, if you just keep pressing the flap closed like this, it will become quite concave. I've seen other Pochette Métis bags in different videos that have become very sunken in and doesn't look so good. So I always put this air paper, which is kind of deflated now, but I put something in the front pocket. I also placed the strap inside just to keep it all together. And also it gives a little bit more of that cushion so that when you close it, it doesn't push down, and this way it maintains the structure. Oh, and for those of you who care about where it's made, this is a made in France piece, so I'll try to tell you which country it was made in for each item as I go along. The VACHETTA leather here has Definitely developed patina from the oils of my hands, from being outside in the sun, and from getting wet in the rain as well. I did spray this with apple guard to protect it from, those horrendous like raindrops or watermarks that make it look spotty. So far it's holding up well. I sprayed it only once or twice and I haven't in a long time, but I still am not shy about wearing this in the rain or in the snow. And then the back zipper is still working out great. It's not sticky. So there you have it. The back here will bend a little bit to the shape of your hips if you wear this crossbody especially, and it kind of bounces on my hips, so it started to curve a bit, but doesn't bother me. Once I put my phone in the back pocket, which fits nicely, especially I have the largest iPhone Pro Max, and even with the case it fits really nicely, and so that once it goes in kind of puffs out the back of the bag and it's fine structurally. Oh, before I move on, I don't know if it's helpful to share prices. I know sometimes it's kind of annoying to hear about old prices because the prices have gone up so much and it just makes you feel kind of nostalgic for the old prices. But for those of you specifically who are looking on the pre-loved market and want to do your research and compare prices, sometimes it's really helpful to know what these old prices were, especially if you're getting an older used bag and you want to get a good deal. So I do have the prices of what I paid. This at the time in 2019, I paid $1,830 plus sales tax in the New York City boutique. And then the sunglasses, I paid $735. Like I said, I don't know if they still have this style available, but if you are looking on the pre-loved market, hopefully that gives you kind of a reference point. The next purchase I made was in the same year in 2019, and it was this mini pochette in damier ebene. I used it quite a lot and it still looks pretty much new. I would say that when it comes to LV canvas, it is so low maintenance and very durable. Really the only place that you're going to see some wear is on the hardware. So it might tarnish a little bit, it might peel a little bit. As you can see, there's a little bit of wear, but it's really not that visible actually. Now they've changed the hardware a few times on some of their pieces, so you might find that it's a little shinier or a little bit more matte. This happens to be the more matte one. The zipper here still works great. I found that none of the zippers on any of my LV items have gotten sticky or anything, although in the past I did purchase new items from the boutique that had zipper issues or wonky zippers. I think I also got a pre-loved Speedy back in the day that had a curly like wavy zipper and I returned it promptly. But when I purchase items where the zipper is fine from the beginning, they have stayed fine through the years, so no issues there. The chain as well, there's no tarnish or rusting that I can see, and there's no wear on the corners of the canvas. I definitely threw this around in many of my bags. It's a very tough piece, so I do know that the price has gone up a lot on this. It's kind of wild, so I don't know if it's still even popular. There are other small pouches like this that LV offers that I think people are more drawn to now, but this was $310 at the time back in 2019. And then the last purchase that I made in that same year in 2019 was this Christmas animation coin purse, again from the year 2019. And this was the year that I took my daughter on a mother-daughter trip to Italy, and we went to Venice and Rome and Florence. And so this is Vivian, the character, on a gondola in Venice. So whenever I think about this year, I think of my daughter and the fun that we had there. It was really nice. So I use it as a little case for my old school earbuds, and the blue has not worn off at all inside. This too is a made in France piece, so was the mini pochette, I forgot to say. And then there have been questions over the years about the ink or the paint on any of the Christmas animation pieces chipping off or peeling off, and I was a little concerned about that because someone had said back then to be mindful of it, but this has been just fine. As you can see, the color has not paled in any way. It's still very vibrant and bright. There's no peeling that I can see. The zipper is also fine. Maybe a little bit of tarnish on the zipper pull, barely. Can't really see anything actually. And it's been over 6 years. And this too, I just toss inside my bags and I take it when I travel, and I'm not careful with it, but it's holding up great. This one I purchased for $375. Okay, and then moving on to the year 2020, I did quite a lot of shopping. I guess this was the year of LV for me. I kind of went crazy, and I remember seeing all the price increases for the mini pochette, and I thought, let me just grab another one in case my daughter wants one when she's older. She's 15 now. When I bought it, she was 9, and in just a few years, she might be old enough to start using it. I don't want to give it to her too early. She's still a kid, but I have it in here, so I wanted to show you. I will unbox this once again, and I'll tie it back up later, but I wanted to show you how this is holding up considering it's just been stored inside the box and inside the dust bag for all these years in the back of my closet. Now, there have been some concerns in the past raised by some of you saying that if I don't use it and I just have it stored, it might, get old and musty and disintegrate somehow, but it's holding up just fine. You can see this is virgin VACHETTA leather, made in France, untouched, and maybe the zipper is brighter. Yeah, I think the zipper is definitely brighter because it hasn't been used. Like you can tell now the difference. Okay, so now you can see. So the untouched zipper or the unused zipper looks very bright and yellow, whereas this is a little bit more muted because it's probably just dirty and a little bit tarnished, but not that big of a difference, honestly. Okay, so this I'm just saving for my daughter because one day she might want to use it. I have a pack of tissues in here just so that it'll hold its shape. It's got the chestnut brown lining, and she knows that I'm saving it for her, but there is no rush. So this is not mine, it's hers, but I wanted to show you since it is part of my LV collection, so to speak, for now. Honestly, I think this was also during the years when I was watching a lot of YouTube videos. It was about 1 year after I had started my own YouTube channel, and I was devouring LV videos from other YouTubers, and so I just went nuts for the smaller pouches in particular. So I also got this from the New York City boutique, the Pochette Accessoires, which is a really versatile piece. This I know that they have kind of discontinued for a while and then revamped it. Now it looks similar, but it's got, chains and bells and whistles and a compartment on the inside. It's a little different. At the time, I bought this for $540. I don't know what the price is right now. The patina on the VACHETTA is pretty noticeable. I sprayed this as well, but this one I sprayed too much with the Apple Guard. I think I sprayed it too close and it kind of changed the color a bit, and I noticed that. So if you're going to use the Apple Guard spray, do it from a distance. And what I do is I put paper towels. I just tape paper towels all over the rest of the canvas. You can wipe it off if it gets on here accidentally, but just for the sake of keeping it neat, I would cover it with paper towels and then just spray the VACHETTA leather piece. So that's what it looks like. Made in France. I will link the Apple Guard down below if you're interested, if that's something you want to do for your LV pieces. This one, I have gotten a lot of comments from some of you saying how shiny and nice the monogram canvas is, and I've gotten questions asking if I sprayed it or if I coated it or if I put any conditioner on it. But I haven't. It's not leather, so I never put any conditioner. Even my leather bags, I usually just keep alive with the natural oils from my hands from usage. But I don't know why this canvas is so supple and shiny looking. It just is. I know they're not all like that, but I don't really have an answer. Just got lucky, I guess, with this one. This is the chain strap that I use it with sometimes. Here's the inside. Still looks pretty clean, I would say, for being over 5 years old. I also wanted to show you inside this box. This is the original box for the Pochette Accessoires, and I never ever used the short VACHETTA leather strap that came with it because I just like to use it longer crossbody or as a clutch, and so I kept this in the dust bag the entire time, again, for all these years. So it hasn't really been in the sun or outside, and it looks like the original condition, right? Like the virgin VACHETTA, untouched. I also have a VACHETTA leather crossbody length strap that I got from Dress Up Your Purse, which I would use for the pochette, but just never use the short one. Okay, and then this is my most used LV item. It is my key pouch in the Dame et Bin, and the very first one that I purchased smells so bad. I ordered it online from the website, and when it came, it had this really strong chemical smell. It wasn't like a regular odor, it was so strong. Now, I am kind of sensitive to odors, but it was so overpowering, and I remember mentioning that I took it out and I touched it. I noticed the smell right away. Then I smelled my fingers and I thought, oh, that's strong. I washed my hands with soap and the smell did not dissipate. So I put the key pouch on my air conditioner so that the vent and the air will just sort of like, hopefully air out the smell. And that didn't work. I think I did that for 2 days. And so I had to return it. And then I bought this second one and it turned out to be great. Smells just like regular canvas. So I'm glad I didn't settle because I don't know if that odor was a good odor. It smelled really bad. So this one as well, I don't know if I can show you. It is a made in France. So this one is just for my keys. I don't have a lot of keys. I just have my apartment key and my mailbox key. I live in Manhattan. I don't have a car. So this works perfectly, and I can also squeeze in my ID, card, cash if I really wanted to. I've shown that before. It looks pretty much in excellent condition, I would say. And this is the one LV item that I take with me daily, unless I'm traveling. And I'm pretty rough with it, like just toss it in and out of bags. And other than just the zipper color change, a little bit of tarnish, it's not sticky though, there's really no noticeable wear that would bother me. Now, I did purchase the new small size, which is bigger than this, the key pouch, because I thought it was going to be perfect as a key pouch / mini wallet combo. I did a whole video comparing this one with the new small one, and I was initially so excited, but after realizing that this was my go-to and I wasn't going to use the new small size, I eventually let that new one go. So if you're interested in the comparison, I'll link it up above. But this is just my handy dandy key pouch that I guess I'm a creature of comfort. I haven't swapped out. Also, Dress Up Your Purse, which I'm a huge fan of, came out with these, and this is pretty much the exact same size as the new small key pouch from LV, but this is grained leather. It feels really nice. Comes in a variety of different colors. I have 3 of them actually, and it comes just as a case or with the key ring attached. So when I do want to combine my wallet and my keys in this, it has worked out great. And in terms of price, this is just going to be much less expensive. You can get a whole collection of these for the price of one of the LV one, but it's of course a matter of preference if you prefer the canvas over leather, but this has been working out great for me. I just wanted to share. And here's a quick size comparison if you wanted to get a sense. And this back in 2020 was $215. Okay, and then that same year I purchased this cosmetic pouch in the PM size, and I just thought it was so pretty, this half moon silhouette, just so soft. Gives kind of like a retro vibe. I think I'd seen a number of reviews on this and I just, fell in love through the screen, and I ordered this on the website, I'm pretty sure. Some people had asked about the corner wear, if this was going to wear down, and so far I would say it has not, but I do not carry this with me anywhere. It has always stayed on my vanity, so it's not like it's going to get tossed around. It would just be sitting. But it's all one piece here, so the monogram turns upside down. And that's what it looks like. And I always say I need to wipe this down. This is from my eyebrow pencil. It just smeared when the cap fell off. But this is a wipeable interior, and I think this is still how they make it. But I'll be honest with you, I just have not used this in the last couple of years. I have other pouches that are just a little bit more roomy, and because the silhouette tapers to the top, it doesn't fit all that much. If you're gonna have it half full, it's okay, but once it starts reaching the top, it gets kind of tight. And actually, when I purchased this, I also ordered the GM size, the larger one. And I immediately realized that even though externally it looks much bigger, internally it wasn't going to fit that much. So I decided to return that and keep this one. This one I paid $4.75 at the time. And I think the cosmetic pouches are one of the few items from LV that have not gone crazy in terms of prices. I think the price increases have been more steady versus those wild hikes. So if you're interested, something to consider. Then also in 2020, I purchased the Toiletry 26, And at the time I bought two, one for me, one for my mom. I bought mine first. She saw it, she thought it was so pretty, and so I got her one as well. You can get a kit to put a chain or a strap on it, but I just use this as like an under the arm clutch and truly as a toiletry bag. So I use it a lot when I travel. I don't use it at home very often. And this one too, there's really no wear visible. This one is a made in Spain. I gave the made in France one to my mom. And the corners are holding up just fine. And this one, like I said, I did travel a lot with it, and I would bring it like poolside and beachside because obviously this canvas is going to be waterproof and sand proof when my kids were playing around with sand and sand buckets. So it has held up really well, very durable. Again, one piece, so starts here and then goes upside down. In the past, I've gotten questions saying like, is this a problem? Is this not real because it's upside down? Sometimes LV will just use one piece of canvas and it will flip on the other side. I do have an organizer insert in here, and when you take it out, it has the same wipeable interior. And I've been able to keep this clean. Usually I just put like my tall creams, my toners, hand lotion, body lotion. It's great for travel. They all kind of stand up neatly. Now, I do know that they sell these as sets now instead of individually. At the time, they were selling them individually. So you have to buy all three at once now as a trio. But when I got this, it was $520 by itself. And then I also purchased the 19 size, which is like the middle size. I don't know if they still have that. Is that the same exact size as the middle one in the trio nowadays? If you know, please let us know in the comments. But the 19 size, just I couldn't find a use for it. Some people use it for like their cords, their chargers, those kinds of things, their tech items when they travel, but I just couldn't find a use for it. Like I was using my mini pochette more, so I sold that. And then there's also the mini one, the 15, which I never had. Okay. And then towards the tail end of 2020, I also bought this one here, which I will unbox. And this one I am saving for my son, but honestly, as more time goes on, I don't think he's ever going to use this because now he's 13 and I can see from his style and his personality, he does not care for any of this stuff. He uses the key pouch from Dress Up Your Purse. I gave him a navy colored one and he likes that a lot. It's like a soft grainy leather and he puts it in his pocket. Because without a pouch, you know, the keys will like kind of stick into you and poke you in the pocket. Wow, I don't know why this box is so sticky. I kept this in the box, in the dust bag all this time, and it is the key pouch, but from the men's collection in the graphite. And I remember someone commenting on this video years ago when I first showed this saying, yay, you finally got something for your son too. Like, don't just, you know, save items for your daughter, you never know. And I thought, okay, so this says here made in France. Let's see. Perfect condition, no tarnishing on the hardware. That's good to see. And the zipper looks good. It's nice. Maybe one day my daughter will use it, or I will use it, or my husband, I don't think he'll ever use it. And I don't know if my son really will, but it's small, it's easy to store, so I'll just hang on to it for now. And at the time, this was $225 in 2020. All right, and then the last thing I bought in the year 2020 was this special piece, which I showed recently in another video. I know a lot of you are really into this bag. This was a seasonal limited edition piece, the Speedy BB ink. It's in this gorgeous black lambskin with the embossed monogram. It's got a luggage tag. It's got the classic Speedy silhouette. It's just a little bit different of a size than the Speedy 20. I did do a comparison of the two a while ago because I got my hands on a Speedy B20 that wasn't mine. Very, very similar. I just love this braided strap. Makes it a little bit dressier. I also have a ZOOMONI organizer insert in here because otherwise it would be quite soft. So I like the structure that it provides. It's a black insert, so it's hard to see because it's black on black. But I do have a pretty generous promo code for ZOOMONI. If you're interested, I'll put that down below and you can save some money if you need to get an organizer insert for one of your handbags. But this as well, I don't really see any visible wear. Zipper is still bright and shiny. Maybe a little bit of tarnish on the end here, like a dot. I don't know if you can even see that. And the corners are fine, even though this is more of a delicate, very soft lambskin. It's fine. I don't put this on the ground or anything like that, so I would imagine it will continue to be okay if I take care of it. The bottom, the base is fine. It's all clean. Now, the softness of the lambskin will imprint if you keep the handles pressed down, pretty roughly. Even now, you can see a little bit of an imprint. So that's something to be mindful of when you store it. Like, you don't want to store it like this because then it will completely crease with the handle marks. Okay, so that's where the insert also helps to sort of puff out the bag and keep the structure maintained, and then the handles can just sort of sit lightly. But that was the last purchase that I made in 2020. I saw it on another YouTuber's channel. As soon as she unboxed it, I knew I wanted it. I started texting a bunch of sales associates to see if they had it. It wasn't easy, but when one of them got back to me and said, yep, we got one, I think, or two in our store, not even in New York, some other state, I was like, yep, I'll take it. And I bought it through invoice on text message. And so I got it without even looking at it. And when it arrived, I was very pleased. Oh, and I know that there are still many of you looking for this on the pre-loved market. It's not easy to find, but I think at least 2 or 3 of you have let me know that you've been lucky. So the original price on this was $2,590 plus sales tax. And if you can get something in that same price range or less on the pre-loved market, that would be great. Okay, and then in 2021, I think I only made one LV purchase, and it was the Speedy BB 35 size for travel in the damier bin, which I recently let go in my latest vlog sale because I've just been traveling with some other bags, and I felt that the Speedy was not my ideal choice for travel these days, and it was beautiful, but I didn't want it to just be sitting in my closet, so I let that go. And then in 2022, I was traveling in London, and I stopped off at the Heathrow airport, and I decided to pick up the Speedy BB 25 in damier bin, the bandolier version. Now, prior to this, I had the Monogram Classic 25 without the bandolier, but for some reason just wasn't working for me. I had purchased it pre-loved, and I think I just wanted the bandolier, and I also just feel like the damier bin was more of my look when it comes to the Speedy, and it was just through trial and error that I figured that out. So I got this, at the time it was $14.30, but I don't know, like, conversion and all of that. It was a good deal at the time because the conversion rate was in my favor. So yeah, this looks still in excellent condition, I think. Almost like new condition. There is no mark or wear that I can see here. The zipper looks fine. The zipper is smooth on both sides. And this is my go-to when it's raining, when it's bad weather. It is indestructible. And let me see if I can show you. I've got the original bandolier strap. It's that treated brown leather, so it doesn't matter if it gets wet. It's not as sensitive as VACHETTA leather. And then this is my braided strap that I use for fun once in a while. This was a collaboration I did with Dress Up Your Purse, but I think they all sold out, and there probably are not any more available. You can check the website. And then this is my ZOOMONI insert. I have inserts for most of my bags. Let me pull this out. This is in the pink color. And this way the interior is kept really clean. Also, I don't like the saggy, droopy effect on Speedies, so it helps to have an insert to maintain the structure. And yeah, I think it looks great. I don't know if there's anyone out there who has much older LV bags or LV items in general, over 15, 20 years. I got into LV kind of late in the game. But if you do have much older items, please let us know how they're holding up. I hope that all of my pieces will hold up just fine over the years. I've seen some vintage pieces that still look amazing. And I think that's the beauty of canvas. At first, I kind of balked at canvas, like, what is this? It's not even leather. But there are definitely benefits to canvas that leather doesn't provide. So it's a matter of preference. Also in 2022, I purchased the origami set. But I've since let go of the largest and the middle size, and I just kept the small one. So I use this for just for a mini wallet, cards, cash, ID. You could fit quite a few cards in here because it's sort of puffy. It's not very restrictive in the number of cards that you can carry. And nowadays with Apple Pay, I don't really carry that much anyway, but it's this origami style, right? Folded like an envelope. I just thought it was so pretty. And I had plans for the middle and the largest size. It just didn't work out. I think I just had too many different pouches. So this, I think, still looks pretty much brand new. It's got the nice burgundy wine interior on the mini one. It says made in France here. Oh, I forgot to point out the Speedy BB 25 also made in France. This one, by the way, again, I forgot to mention, is made in Italy. So at the time, this set was $745, I believe, back in 2022. And I think that's it. I think I've gone through everything. So I've got a total of 11 items for myself, and then 2 additional items that I'm saving for my kids, right? The mini pochette for my daughter and the key pouch for my son. So that's pretty much it. I had a few more pieces, but like I said, I've since let them go. And I am not really looking to add anything new. I have fun looking on the website for new collections or just browsing the store once in a while. I know the new Murakami collab is also coming out. I have never really gotten into that much color and that much design, so I've never considered adding anything from the Murakami collection, not the original, not the relaunch, but I know that it's a lot of fun. I just am not craving anything new. I feel like I'm simply enjoying what I have. It's plenty, and there was definitely a slippery slope for me where I was going down the path of buying every cute little pouch and SLG I could find, and then I realized I really don't need them all, and I also don't need to spend luxury prices for little pouches. Like this, for example, is not from LV, but it's a VACHETTA leather like envelope pouch, and it looks pretty much like the kirigami, and it would have been similar to the medium-sized kirigami. And I use this for passports, my family's passports. 4 fits nicely. You can even squeeze one more in for 5 if you have a larger family. And every time I use this in the airport and I'm traveling with friends, I get questions about this. And 2 of my friends liked it so much that I decided to gift them their own. And I love how the patina has developed through the travels that I've gone on. So, you know, this is like a fraction of the price. This also is from Dress Up Your Purse. I don't know if it's still available. Might be sold out by now, but I'll try to link it if it's still available, if there's other versions of this. And you can use my promo code as usual for 15% off, since that's an ongoing code. But for those of you who are just diehard LV fans, I know that you would probably want the LV monogram of the kirigami set. All right, this was kind of a longer video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you have any questions or thoughts down below. Let me know if you like these types of longer videos. Let me know also how you're feeling about LV as a brand these days and what they're offering, especially the new collections that are coming out. Are you excited about them? Are you also kind of on a pause and just using what you already have? Or have you just never been into LV and you're just sort of admiring from afar? I would love to know. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I will see you all next time. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.